Welcome to the Golden Hour, a content series from us here at the Horizon League. Why the Golden Hour? Well, we certainly won't take up a full hour of your time, but it refers to the point where the earth meets the sky and the student meets the athlete. On today's episode, we talked to Morgan Gerak, the NKU softball coach, a little bit about her journey as a student athlete and now into the coaching realm for the Norse. Thanks for joining us. Hello and welcome to the Golden Hour. I'm Rachel White here with
Morgan Gerak, softball coach at Northern Kentucky.
We're going to get to know Morgan and talk a little bit more about her job as a softball coach at NKU. First question, talk to us a little bit about your background, kind of why you became a head coach and how you landed at NKU.
Yeah. I had the opportunity to play softball at Northwestern for Kate and Carol Drohan. And I graduated with a biology degree. I thought I wanted to go to medical school. Now my husband's in medical school, and I'm really glad that I'm not, partly because I really truly love what I do, and got the opportunity to be a grad assistant in 2022. And at the Super Regional, Catherine Gleason was our site rep, and she was the head coach at Northern Kentucky at the time, and got to know her and got to hear more about NKU from her, and it just was so clear that was the right place for me to be, and so thankful for that opportunity that she gave me. And here I am 4 years later.
It's very exciting. And Catherine is now at Northern Illinois, so she'll be joining us again in the league next year.
Yep.
Very exciting. This is probably a tough question right off the jump, but what do you love most about the game of softball?
The game of softball teaches you so many life lessons. And I always say what I see my role as a head coach is teaching young women how to be really prepared for life. And the vehicle of softball is just what I get to do that through.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is just crazy what you can teach young people through this game. And I think that's my favorite part about it, right? I mean,
yeah.
Everybody loves competing, everybody loves winning, and I love those things too. But what I'm able to instill in our student athletes, I think, is so much farther beyond the sport.
Yeah, it's very cool. Kind of on the flip side, see like maybe future looking, if you could change one thing about the game of softball or improve it, whether it's like a rule or something on the field, kind of what comes to mind there?
I would truly love for every game that we play to be streamed.
Okay.
And to have video replay.
Yeah.
I would love for our sport to get to that direction, because it is such an awesome sport. And
yeah.
How many times I'm in public and I hear other people say, "Oh, you're a softball coach?" I love watching softball. People who aren't really, maybe just really general sports fans. How can we make the game more accessible at all levels? It's really cool. People love the World Series, but do they know that it starts in February? I'd love for them to get to learn more about that.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. You mentioned obviously coaching maybe wasn't what you set out to do originally on your educational path. So when did you kind of know you wanted to make that switch, and what was it about the profession that really drew you in?
The switch was really gradual for me. I actually recall a conversation I had with Carol Drohan in the dugout during a rain delay, and I kind of hit me. I turned to her and I said, "Carol, I think I want to be a softball coach." And she looked at me and she smiled because I think she probably knew.
Yeah.
But she said, "You're graduating with a biology degree. Why don't you talk to your parents first?" Which is great.
Always
great
good advice. Yes.
Great advice. My parents, I think, saw it in me too. But I think ultimately what called me to softball, what really compelled me, is my college athletic experience was so transformative for so many reasons. And I just felt really strongly that I wanted to be able to give that to other players and other student athletes. And that's really what led me to coaching.
That's awesome. What would you say is your favorite thing about coaching?
My favorite thing is so clearly my players and my team. And the reason I pause is because I want to figure out why specifically it's them, right? And there's so many reasons, but I think the thing that stands out to me the most is I'm a teacher. I love to teach. I love to grow. I love for our kids to learn. And I'm sure other teachers in the profession feel the same way, where like that feeling that your student athlete gets and that facial expression that they make when they get it. Man, that's really cool, right? That's really cool. And that's something that's special that I love. That's what I love, being in the bullpen every day with our pitchers. You know,
Yeah.
I love just like getting to throw front toss, because the things that they're able to catch on and learn, like they're so smart and they're so intuitive, and they love to learn too.
That's awesome. You mentioned you had a transformational experience as a student athlete. Talk a little bit about that, and then how you feel that kind of having that experience helps you as a coach as you're trying to kind of relate and work with your student athletes.
Yeah. Man, I think the reason one of the reasons I chose Northwestern, there's so many, is King Carroll in the recruiting process, they didn't roll out the red carpet for me. They said, this is going to be hard, but it's also going to be amazing. And here's what you're going to learn, and here's how you're going to grow. And I totally felt that in so many ways, so many challenging ways. I think you learn how to be a problem solver. You know, you learn how to be adaptable. You know, you learn how to grow in challenges. And those experiences are just so invaluable. And as a coach, I use those things every single day. All those skill sets that I learned, you know. And I know, like, I would do that in any other job. I know I'm gonna do that in motherhood, right? And I think, again, I go back to, that's what I want to be able to instill in our young women too. Like, whatever goals they desire to accomplish, like here's how you're gonna be able to get there.
Yeah. I'm sure it helps too that you've walked that same path that they have, and not that long ago. So I'm sure that gives you a little bit of credibility too when you're talking to your student athletes.
I'm trying to hold on to that credibility as long as I can. I think it's waning.
For sure. What do you enjoy most about competing in this league, in the Horizon League?
Yeah. I think it's really cool. Every campus is in a city.
Yeah.
Right? I think the greater Cincinnati area is just, I found it to be an incredible place to live.
Yeah.
I think regionally, all of our opponents are, at least for us, reasonably close.
Sure.
And I know that benefits our student athletes so much with travel. And just the competition. I think about the other 7 coaches in our league, 6 coaches in our league. And they're all great people who I really love working with and competing against. And I think that's really special. And I don't know about other places, but I'm just so glad for that to be true about our league.
Yeah, it feels like there's great camaraderie. Obviously, we just had a coaches meeting, and it feels like there's a lot of, obviously everybody's competitive on the field, but kind of wanting to help each other off the field and make sure we're kind of working together. So that's exciting. You're a little newer to kind of the head coach space as well. So maybe talk about what you've learned kind of making that transition from assistant to head coach.
Yeah. I'll say this to anybody who will listen, but Catherine was just an incredible mentor to me. Just a true delegator who gave me space to learn my own coaching voice, to feel really prepared. And so I think in that sense, I felt really, really ready thanks to her. But truly, I think I learned something new every day about this role, right? And I am so thankful for our assistant coaches, because we truly could not do it without them. And the thing that I think about every day is my priority as a head coach is, despite whatever new administrative things that are now on my plate as a head coach, I never want that to take away from my relationships with the student athletes. And that's something that I think about every day as I walk to the bullpen. I'm like, okay, how can I put aside every other task that might have to be done for the purpose of them? And I think that might be a new challenge, but something that I really take a lot of responsibility for.
That's awesome. Okay, I have one final question for you. This is our little golden hour tradition. We like to do a start, bench, cut. So you're kind of going to rank the 3 options, start the best one, bench the next one, cut the one you could do without.
Okay.
So yours are very softball specific. So obviously former student athlete, now a coach. Hitting, pitching, fielding.
Oh, wow.
Start, bench, cut. So take your time, think about it. I know it's difficult.
I feel like I have to preface this by saying I'm a pitcher who hits it, and I got to play outfield. So
you've done all 3 and done them well. So this is
but it's hard it would be hard to take one away for that reason, right? Man, I think this is probably going to be really controversial for other coaches, because I think here's my take is, pitching, you got to start. It all starts with pitching. I don't think that's controversial. I think everybody would agree with me.
Great.
And for bench, I'm going to say defense, because I'm a very detail-oriented person, and I just love really great defense.
Yeah.
Now, it pains me to feel like I have to cut hitting because you literally can't win without scoring runs.
Sure.
So in my answer, I hope my caveats are acceptable because
I think so.
you need to hit. We need to hit at
Sure.
NKU. But I just personally love great defense.
Okay.
Makes pitching look even better.
They say defense wins championships, so I don't think you're off base here, Morgan. I think it's very defensible. All right. Well, perfect. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you guys for watching this episode of the Golden Hour. Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Golden Hour. Be sure to follow us at HorizonLink on social media to keep up with the latest news. We hope you make a major impact.